Hello, so I expect this to be a fairly short video. I've been speaking with Matt again over at Ghost Stands, and he wanted me to test out some more of his, well, Ghost Stands for him. The MOTU ones, Masters of the Universe ones. He took on board one of the things that I said last time, which was that if I could find one of the old stands. These are similar to the old stands. They're not the same. They are similar. Where it would grasp at the back, but I said that most collectors display it on a glass shelf, and these tend not to really stand so well on a glass shelf because they just slide. Work perfectly well on a wooden shelf. Work perfectly well on anything with a little bit of friction. And they were fine, you know. They were better than fine. They were fantastic. They were absolutely brilliant. But yeah, on a glass shelf, they did tend to just slide a little bit, so the figures may still fall over, defeating the whole purpose of the stands. Now, those ones are actually a new design, so I don't know if that addresses the problem. But it's not those what he's actually asking me to test. He's developed some new ones now, and I'm going to get them out. We've got I think there's a short as well, but he's only sent me the medium ones and the long ones. Now these ones, as you can see, they've got an extra fold in them there, so you fold them round a little bit, and then you've got an actual angle there, which stops them from moving around quite so much. So we're going to have a little look at these now. I've got some beaten up old Masters of the Universe figures to see how they get on with. I haven't tried them yet. Hopefully they'll work. Hopefully I know what I'm doing. He has sent me a video to show me how to put them in. So we'll see if I can figure this out. I should be able to. So I'm going to switch cameras now to the desk cam. Ooh, and we've got a Fisto here, and as you can see, there's no way that guy is standing up. In fact, I'm gonna have a little fiddle with him first, just see whether or not I can get him to stand up. In the cabinet at the shop, I did have him laid down because he wasn't going to have it. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. It's a typical problem with the legs. The elastic pulls them in any which way, and they can be a pain in the backside. So these ones are the normal ones, the medium body, and I believe the angle part is to be facing outward away. And the idea behind these is that these notches that stick out, the fork bits, not the notch, you stick them up here in between the leg and the bum, essentially. There we are, see? And it should, yeah, that works perfectly. It adds a little bit of extra tension to the leg because you've got something wedged in there, and helps him stand up. Well, look at that first attempt. Let's move him back so you can see. First attempt, he stood up. I think that's absolutely brilliant. That's Matt. You're a genius. You're a legend. That works. Yeah, no, that's perfect, and it's not going to tip back because of that extra foot there. That's brilliant, is that? That's absolutely fantastic. I'm well impressed with that. Brilliant stuff. So let's try it with another couple of figures. So I've brought some others. We'll put Fisto aside. Got Zardock. I'm not even going to try and stand that up. You see, it is. Right, with a lot of patience, there you are. You might get him to stand up. but he's going to fall a tiny little knock, isn't he? And then, yeah, and then the leg's going to move out. So let's try again. In there, in there. Straight away, and we've got added tension to the legs, which pumps them up. Perfect. Absolutely spot on. Again. Brilliant stuff. It's getting a bit into shot so you can actually see it. There you are. That's fantastic, isn't that? Great stuff, Matt. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, these were sent to me to free to see if they work and to get my feedback and thoughts on them. But I think that works perfectly well, don't you? I do much prefer these over the previous ones too. I think these are a lot better, a lot more stable, a lot more steady. You know what? I'm going to send me these little messages on the bags to tell me what each figure is. I'm going to try them on something smooth and soft, which is like a glass shelf, and well, it's going to fall over if I do that, isn't it? But that stand is not sliding anywhere like the other ones could have done. That's great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. Right, so I do have Stinkor here as well, but I don't think he's quite so bad, so we'll pop him aside. Got another one with bandy legs, man at arms. They are very, very loose. Try again. We'll put that side in first this time. Brilliant stuff. I'm so impressed with those. Genuinely, they're great at those. Look at that. It's not going anywhere. That's standing up. Is that'll survive an earthquake on that one? Don't quote me on that. Depends how high it is on the Richter scale, doesn't it? But no, that's brilliant. That's fantastic, is that? That's absolutely great stuff. One thing you did point out as well is that because they're going against plastic and not paint, in there, you're not going to scratch any paintwork off either. You know, just on the off chance that you're worried that might happen. Right, I'm going to test that again with something else in a minute, but we're going to move on now to the lady stands, as he calls them. Oh, excuse that wobble to the camera. So the lady stand, I only have the one, and it's Tila. So she's not so bad at standing anyway. At least this particular one that I have isn't. But yeah, she could still benefit from leaning against something. But you get the idea. It is still difficult to stand up, and tiny little knock to your cabinet, it's going to go woo, fall over. So again, stick it up her. Yeah, okay, I won't say it. This is a little tighter, to be fair, so you may have to try and pull the legs out a little bit. I'm struggling, if I'm honest. Yeah, if you pull the leg out, it's a lot easier. Obviously, they're elasticated, so you can do that. There we go. It's in. It's been penetrated. Give that the fold that it requires, and there we go. Tension on the legs again, so you can position it, and she stands, no problem whatsoever. From the side there, so you can see she's pretty much standing up straight there, straight up and down. There's no lean to. That's great. That's brilliant, is that? So sadly, this is the only one I have female figure to try it with. But yeah, you get the idea. Stood up perfectly there. Move out of the way. Move out of the way. Now I've got two other figures to try those medium stands with, because I just thought this would be interesting. And where have I put it? There it is. Yeah. I thought it might be worth trying with both a Super 7 figure, because these do stand a lot easier than the others. but they're not the best, are they still? And also an Origins figure. I thought it might be worth trying them with these. I don't know if I'll be able to get them in, to be fair, because of the there's no elastic there, is there, holding these legs in place, but I thought it was worth a try. So we're going to try. We'll start with the Super 7 figure here, and it might not work, or it might work. I genuinely don't know. Now that's gone in quite fine. It's not gone all the way in, so maybe the tips of the prongs, the forks, might be worth cutting off, but it does the job that it's meant to do. So great, it works. I'm not going to say on all of the Super 7 figures. This is the only one that I've got. Well, these are called the Retro Collection, the Super 7 Retro Collection. I think that's right, isn't it? So yeah, it works on the one that I have. This is the only one that I've got. Particularly open anyway, so that's great, that's fantastic. And then the Skeletor. Now I'm not sure about this one, because those joints look a lot tighter in there, but we'll give it a try. You know, we're here to test these things. That went straight in, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Perfect, look at that. Ah, right, now, looks like the legs on these are a little longer. But a bit of feedback, maybe you can do something a little bit longer. So yeah, that's not going to work quite well on the thing unless I bend his legs a little. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's not going to work, is it? I mean, he stands okay as it is anyway, but it was just a test. It was just a test. He just... It's a bit too soon. He just stand. There he is. See, he does stand alright on his own anyway. But again, you know, knock to the cabinet and they're likely to fall over at some point, so maybe a slightly longer one of these would be ideal. What else has he sent me? I don't know if any of these have worked well with it. What are these ones? These are the older ones, aren't they? Let's see. That's about the right length, is that one. So yeah, that works, to be fair. Does have that problem that I mentioned before about put it on a slippery surface and it's likely to fall. Although there's a bit more strength in this, so it's not just flopping backwards. It's actually taking his weight quite well. So yeah, so those are some other stands that he does, that Ghost stands do, that'll do the job. Brilliant. Oh, well, that's fantastic, is that? So, the new stands that he's designed, these ones, they do work both for the ladies and for the other characters, the monsters and the humans, the men. Make them stand. Pop that back in there so we can show it in action again. There we go. Perfect stuff. Absolutely wonderful. Let's get them a little bit more into shot together, shall we? There we are. Brilliant. Fantastic, Matt. I'm really impressed with these. I think that does the job quite well, don't you? What do you guys think at home? Do you think these are good? I think they're good. I think they're great. So yeah. That's all this video was about, so I'm going to leave it at that and say bye-bye. In fact, I'm back because I've just remembered there was something else I meant to show you. At the very least, let's move these aside, because I think it's only fair. Anyone that's wanting to get any of these on order, you can get them from his website, but he's also offering links to his other outlets, which are eBay, Etsy, Vinted, and Instagram. So yeah, you can see that he does do plenty other things as well. Star Wars, Transformers, Mask, Corgi. I might have a look and see what Corgi stuff it does. Back to the Future, Jada, and Ghostbusters. And there's probably other things as well that's not on his flyer that he does. And that's the business card. And do remember that every time you make a purchase, you get a stamp on your card. Now, obviously, you can't stamp a card, so you get stickers next time you order that you can put on yourself. So let's do that, shall we? There we are. There we go. Brilliant. Thank you, Matt. Good luck with these. I hope they sell very well for you. They certainly deserve to. And get a nice close-up of them for anyone. Remember, eBay. If you want to scan that now, I'll take you to his eBay listings. If you want to scan that now, I'll take you to his Etsy listings. If you want to scan that now, I'll take you to his Vinted listings. And if you want to scan that now, you can go and follow him on Instagram. Right, okay, now I'm done.